Yo, welcome to Star Enlightenment channel. And today's going to be a short and quick video about Mercury sign element. So we already are all aware, right, that the sign Mercury, and whatever area of life you have Mercury in your chart, and whatever sign you have Mercury in, is going to tell you about the way that you think and analyze, since Mercury deals off the bat with thinking and analyzing. All right. So I'm gonna get into the elements of the zodiac. Of course, like always, I'm not gonna go into each specific zodiac sign, but I'm gonna go into the element of each zodiac sign. All right. So if you have Mercury in a fire sign, that's Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, the way you think and analyze may be more from a fiery point of view. When you talk about, like, it may be from a passionate point of view. It may be for um like having an intent with the way you think. You might like to have intention with the way that you think. You might like to have a goal with the way you think. You might like to have a passion for the way you think. You might not just always like to think frivolously for no reason. You see what I'm saying? Because the fire element itself doesn't necessarily deal with thinking, but you might have like imaginative thinking. You see what I'm saying? Because imagination does deal with fire element. You might like to have creative thinking. Like, you might like to spark an idea instead of just, like me, I have Gemini and Mercury, right? So a lot of times I could be thinking about everything up under the sun and above the sun. I think about stuff that I have no business even thinking about. Just like my whole day might go to just overthinking about everything. And that could be good and bad, right? Mainly bad if you don't know how to use it. But what I will say is, if you have a fire sign in Mercury, or your Mercury sign is in a fire sign, since the fire element doesn't necessarily always deal with just thinking like frivolously, you might be a person that's very creative though with your thoughts. So when you do think, or when you do want to indulge into thinking or even overthinking to an extent, the way you analyze and think in general may be more so from an imaginative point of view, from a creative point of view. You may be one of those people who you may not just spend your whole day thinking all the time and talking about nonsense, but you might be having the most creative thoughts though when you do. Like, you might be that spark. You might be great for having a spark of an idea. You might be a good inventor. You might be able to be very creative and come up with a new concept that we never really thought of before, or spark something new, like a new wave. All right. If you have your Mercury sign in a water element, or water deals with emotions and feelings. So the way you think and analyze may be more so from an emotional point of view. You may be thinking and analyzing from an emotional point of view, with your emotions attached to that. You see what I'm saying? Or with your feelings attached to that. Moving on, if you have a Mercury in an air sign, since air already deals with thinking and analyzing, this can be one of the best placements, because it naturally is. Mercury does deal with air, and it is already dealing with thinking and analyzing. But basically, you pretty much already think a lot. Basically, like, it's nothing for me to tell you to be like, oh, how to do this, how to do that. Now, I guess for the air, I could break down the different modalities. If you're Libra, you might like to think a lot about relating with others. If you're a Gemini, you might just be thinking about everything, just overthink in general. If you're Aquarius, you might have like more solitude type thoughts that are more catered to just you, or like individuals, like not just thoughts that can be given to everybody and information that can be given to everybody. You may like to think and learn information that may be catered more so towards you. And last but not least, if you have a Mercury sign and Earth element, Earth deals with esoterically practicality, stability, structure, groundedness, and stability. So your thoughts, you like to have practical thoughts. You don't like to go far out into la la land. You like to have practical thoughts. Now, this could be good or bad, but for the most part, you like to have practical thoughts that make sense, stuff that you can hone in and make sense out of, things that are practical, things that you feel like you could take these thoughts and do something with them type energy. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna cut this video short. This is a very good video about Mercury sign element. Mercury sign in the element you have it in.